The 5-minute karma reset. Zen's rule to instantly break bad habits and create unstoppable positive momentum. Stop letting procrastination control you. Your bad habits are a loop of bad karma. Learn the 5-minute reset, the Zen rule to instantly create unstoppable momentum. Watch now. Part 1. The Loop of Procrastination, the Hook and the Problem. Welcome to Echoes of Life. Let's talk about the silent, invisible force that controls more of your life than you realize. The loop of procrastination. You know exactly what you should be doing, the vital task, the healthy habit, the difficult conversation, yet an unseen hand pulls you away. You find yourself retreating to the comfort of distraction, scrolling endlessly, or choosing instant, shallow gratification over long-term fulfillment. The result is a cycle of self-sabotage, a momentary relief from the discomfort of the task, immediately followed by the sharp, corrosive pain of guilt, shame, and regret. This shame feeds the stress, which then fuels the next wave of procrastination. We are caught in a vicious cycle, a treadmill of negative habits. We mistakenly believe that we lack willpower, motivation, or discipline, but the problem is not a lack of internal strength, it is a profound misunderstanding of how momentum, habit, and consequence truly work. The ancient philosophy of karma, often mistranslated as fate or destiny, provides the radical key to breaking this loop. At its core, karma is not about external cosmic judgment, it is about intention and action, causation. The Buddha defined karma as satana, intention, or volition. Every action you take is preceded by a seed of intention, and that intention shapes the resulting consequence. Your life is not destiny, it is the compound effect of your daily intentions and micro-actions. Today, we offer the 5-minute karma reset. We will redefine karma as a highly effective psychological tool for behavioral change. You will learn the secret to transforming the energy of procrastination into unstoppable positive momentum by mastering the intention behind your smallest choices. This is the blueprint for designing your destiny, 5 minutes at a time. Part 2. Karma. The Science of Intention. To apply the karma reset, we must first divorce karma from the common, misleading definition of external, punitive fate. In its original context, karma is closer to modern neuroscience than to prophecy. It is the law of cause and effect governed by intention. Karma as the science of intention. 1. The seed of intention. Every action, good or bad, originates in the mind as an intention. If you intentionally choose distraction to avoid a task, the action of scrolling is less important than the intention of avoidance that fueled it. This intention is the seed of future consequence. 2. The vicious cycle. When you act from unconscious intention, driven by fear, craving, or avoidance, you create unwholesome karma. The immediate relief you feel after procrastinating reinforces the negative neural pathway in your brain, making the next act of avoidance easier. This is the vicious cycle in action. The consequence, guilt, strengthens the cause, unconscious avoidance. 3. The power of wholesome intention. The goal of the karma reset is to replace unconscious, avoidant intention with conscious, wholesome intention. This means choosing an action, even a tiny one, that is deliberately rooted in self-care, growth, or compassion. Your mind is a complex garden. If you plant seeds of avoidance, you will reap a harvest of stagnation. If you plant seeds of intentional effort, you will reap momentum. The power of karma is the realization that you are not a victim of your past actions. You are the sovereign creator of your next intention. Changing your karma is simply the psychological act of inserting consciousness before action. Part 3. Zen Secret 1. The 5-minute reset, the momentum engine. The greatest psychological hurdle to productivity is inertia, the physical law that states an object at rest tends to stay at rest. When facing a daunting task, the sheer magnitude of the effort required triggers the mind's resistance, leading to procrastination. The problem is not the work itself, it is the friction of starting. Zen Secret 1 is the 5-minute commitment, the radical technique to overcome negative inertia by committing only to the smallest, most manageable burst of intentional focus. The 5-minute commitment technique. 1. Identify the barrier. When you feel the pull of procrastination, acknowledge that the problem is not the whole task, but the first 5 minutes. 2. Radical limit. Commit only to 5 minutes of focused, high-quality, intentional work. Say to yourself, I only have to work on this proposal for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I have my permission to stop. 3. The intentional focus. During those 5 minutes, dedicate your full, undivided attention to the task, applying samadhi. This makes the 5 minutes wholesome karma because the intention is pure and conscious. Why does this work? Momentum is the product of action, not the prerequisite for it. The gentle, initial push of the 5-minute commitment bypasses the ego's resistance. Once you are in motion, the law of inertia works in your favor. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. You create a tiny, powerful cascade of positive momentum, often finding that you continue for 10, 20, or even 60 minutes effortlessly. The 5-minute reset is the ultimate micro-karma action to transform rest into motion. Part 4. Zen Secret 2. The micro-action pivot. When facing the temptation of a bad habit, the compulsive checking of the phone, the stress eating, the aggressive outburst, it is futile to simply try to forbid the action. The craving is real, and the vacuum left by the forbidden action will simply be filled by another similar craving. Zen masters teach that you must redirect the energy, not suppress it. Zen Secret 2 is the micro-action pivot, the technique of replacing an existing, unwholesome habit with a small, intentional, wholesome micro-action that serves the same underlying emotional need. The substitution rule. 1. Identify the core need. A bad habit is usually a clumsy attempt to solve a genuine emotional need, e.g., stress eating is a clumsy attempt to solve emotional discomfort. Scrolling is a clumsy attempt to solve boredom or fear of action. 2. Choose the wholesome pivot. Pre-plan a micro-positive action that is simpler than the bad habit. If the craving is to scroll, the pivot could be: walk to the window and look at one tree for 60 seconds. If the craving is to stress eat, the pivot could be: take 5 conscious sips of water. 3. The intentional execution. The moment you feel the pull of the bad habit, execute the pre-planned micro-action with full intention. This is the micro-karma moment. You are not fighting the craving, you are choosing a superior, conscious response to the emotional need. This pivot is powerful because it uses the energy of the craving itself. You are retraining your neural pathways to link the emotional trigger to a positive, self-compassionate response, rather than a negative, self-sabotaging one. You are shifting your karma from self-sabotage to self-care, one intentional second at a time. The cumulative power of these small, deliberate pivots is the engine of destiny creation. Part 5. The stillness before the storm, observing intention. We have established the external techniques for action. Now we must drill down into the inner working of karma. The root of all habit change is found in a single, minuscule moment, the stillness before the storm. This is the critical juncture where intention is born. The precise breakpoint where the momentum of the past is either continued or redirected. Unwholesome karma thrives on speed and unconsciousness. The bad habit is a reaction so instantaneous that the conscious mind never has time to intervene. The urge to procrastinate, to snap in anger, or to seek destructive comfort fires from the limbic brain before your intentional mind can catch up. The stillness before the storm is the conscious effort to slow down this process, inserting mindfulness directly into the causal chain. The 3-second pause technique. 1. The trigger event. Recognize the moment of temptation, the trigger, the email notification, the surge of stress, the feeling of boredom. 2. The immediate halt. Use your anchor, the breath, as learned in previous lessons, to initiate an immediate, intentional, 3-second pause. This is a forced moment of stillness. 3. The observation of intention. During this 3-second gap, do not try to suppress the craving. Instead, observe it and ask the core question of karma. What is the intention behind this imminent action? Is the intention relief, avoidance, self-punishment? By shining the light of awareness onto the intention, you strip away its unconscious power. 4. The conscious choice. Only after this observation can you make a conscious choice to either proceed with the old habit, now with full awareness of the consequence, or to execute the micro-action pivot from part 4. This 3-second pause is the ultimate power move against unconscious karma. It forces the intention, the true seed of the action, out of the shadow and into the light of consciousness. By observing the intention, you create a necessary distance between the urge and the action. You move from being the slave of the habit to being the master of your response. This act of intentional stillness is the beginning of all true inner freedom. Part 6. The negative interest of unconscious karma. Why does the cycle of bad habits feel so impossible to escape? Because unconscious karma operates like negative compound interest. The consequence of a single, small act of self-sabotage is not just the immediate pain, but the subsequent exponential increase in difficulty for the next positive action. Think of procrastination. You choose the distraction, negative karma. This small act makes the task harder, causes self-loathing, increases the stress, and reinforces the belief that you are incapable of self-discipline. The next time you try to start, you are not starting from neutral, you are starting with a debt of compounded negative self-belief and anxiety. This debt, this negative interest, is the true mechanism of the vicious cycle. This is where the power of self-compassion becomes crucial. When caught in the loop, our natural egoistic tendency is self-punishment, berating ourselves for the failure, which only increases the negative debt and fuels the next cycle of avoidance. The Zen approach is the opposite, self-help. The self-help protocol, the antidote to shame. 1. Acknowledge the debt, not the failure. When you relapse into a bad habit, acknowledge the debt created, the negative interest, without concluding that you are a permanent failure. Say, I chose a less wholesome action, but that choice does not define my worth. 2. Focus on the reset, not the relapse. Immediately apply the 5-minute reset. Do not spend time dwelling in shame. Shame is passive, action is curative. The most important moment is not the one where you fell, but the one where you consciously chose to get back up. 3. The curative intention. Every time you consciously choose to reset and forgive yourself, you are generating curative karma. You are building a new internal narrative of resilience and capability, transforming the negative compound effect into a redemptive loop. You cannot eradicate the past debt immediately, but you can stop incurring interest on it by replacing self-punishment with intentional, self-compassionate action. You dismantle the power structure of the vicious cycle. Part 7. The compound effect of positive momentum. Conversely, when you successfully execute the 5-minute karma reset and the micro-action pivot, you unlock the most powerful force for change, the compound effect of positive momentum. This is positive compound interest applied to your spiritual and psychological life. Every intentional, wholesome micro-action, the 5 minutes of focused work, the 60 seconds of walking away from the phone, the conscious choice of breath over anger, is a deposit into your karma bank. The momentum machine. 1. Reduced friction. The small positive action reduces the negative interest, shame, anxiety. The next positive action, therefore, requires less effort. This creates a positive feedback loop. Success $, right arrow $, reduced resistance $, right arrow $, easier next success. 2. Unstoppable confidence. This consistency builds action confidence, the absolute internal certainty that you are the type of person who shows up and follows through. This confidence is not loud or arrogant, it is a quiet confidence, rooted in the factual evidence of your own intentional consistency. 3. The mastery of inertia. You have successfully flipped the law of inertia. Your life moves from a default state of rest and resistance to a default state of motion and flow. Action becomes the easier choice. The cumulative power of these tiny actions is staggering. 5 minutes of intentional work, compounded daily, creates years of profound progress. You are no longer fighting for motivation. You are generating motivation through movement. You are no longer driven by random events. You are operating from a state of intentional being. This mastery over momentum is the ultimate practical application of karma, the conscious creation of a destiny defined by continuous, effortless, positive growth. Part 8. Final Echoes. Your next 5 minutes, conclusion and CTA. We have journeyed deep into the mechanics of karma, realizing that your life is not a fixed fate, but a constant flow of intention and consequence. You now possess the blueprint for escaping the vicious cycle of procrastination. You have the tools to begin generating unstoppable, positive momentum. 1. The stillness before the storm. Using the 3-second pause to observe and redirect intention. 2. The 5-minute commitment. Bypassing inertia with small, manageable bursts of focused action. 3. The micro-action pivot. Replacing self-sabotage with a conscious, wholesome response. Remember this profound truth. You are the architect of your own karma. The greatest action you can take today is to choose conscious intention over unconscious reaction. Embrace this final challenge. Choose one task you have been putting off. Do not try to solve the whole problem. Instead, apply Zen Secret 1, the 5-minute commitment, right now. Dedicate the next 5 minutes of your life to that task with full, intentional focuses. When the timer goes off, you have earned your first deposit of positive micro-karma. Thank you for continuing your journey with Echoes of Life. If the promise of breaking bad habits and creating genuine momentum resonated with your spirit, subscribe to our channel and join our community dedicated to applying ancient Zen and Buddhist wisdom to master habits and create a life of intentional action. Like this video to help the algorithm share this essential secret for beating procrastination with others caught in the vicious cycle. And finally, share this video with someone who needs to be reminded that their destiny is created by their next 5 minutes. Until our next lesson on mastering your inner world, may your spirit be intentional and your actions be unstoppable.